fidelity. I'll be back in 2 minutes. Bear with me a minute. Put the kettle on. Needed a brew, a cup of coffee. Right, let's get this set up. Welcome, Fidelity. You can hear good. Did you hear the kettle boiling? Yeah, I've got a coffee. Yeah, you're gonna do a bit of editing together, so feel free to pop in and pop out over the next few hours. I thought it'd make a change, break up the monotony of editing on my own. It's just some bits and bobs I'm working off somebody else, to be fair, helping them out a few hours. Yeah, I've worked on it for already 4 hours. I don't know why. I'll just nip in and out of it, in on it, and things come to mind. I don't really have any plans too much about when I'm editing, to be fair. I might have an intention to start with, and then that can change, or the video might turn into 2 productions. In fact, this one is, I'm sharing the footage. I've already published part of this footage already, and this is footage that's unseen that I'm working on now, and I thought, well, let's do a tutorial one out of it. What if someone starts live streaming? I don't know. What do you mean by that question? What if somebody starts live streaming? Live streaming what? Here we go. So this was going to be, well, this might be a how-to video. It was initially, this video was going to be something different. I think it was going to be called, yeah, that's right, it was going to be called How to Interview Bar Girls. I can't remember why I've changed the title of it. That's what happens. And then the other thing I tend to do is, if I find a good tune, music, I want to create a video to that, and I might not have the footage of it, so it just, the tune just sticks in the library for a long time before I think of some footage to put to it. Like the Pattaya orphanage one, in fact. I always wanted to do that, a movie to the Johnny Darko film, and I thought the Pattaya orphanage appeal was quite apt, and it was very befitting of it, so that worked well. And that's raised quite a few hundred for them, actually, a few hundred dollars from and that's just from the people that have contacted me to say they've donated directly to the orphanage, which is good. And I was supposed to have visited in November, but I wasn't there, with the guy who was flying over from the States. He might be on, actually, I'm not sure, I haven't seen him for a while, but he was on TV in the States as a real life superhero. You get these eccentrics that go out in a uniform into the streets, etc. And he was filmed, but he wanted to come over and make light of his visit in costume to the orphanage, which that never came off. So maybe that will happen this year. I don't know. Let's have a look at your comments. What we got? Ah, okay. If somebody starts to go live stream, will I stop to watch? Depends on who it is. I've done that many a time, stopped editing and been nosy. I've been lurking in a few people's live streams and such like, getting invited by others into them as well, and sent links on Facebook to, oh, you should check this person out. And it's so difficult because there are so many great creators and characters. They don't have to be great creators, they can be just really good personalities, infectious, and it's just difficult to keep up. You have to really be regimented, actually, or not regimented, but self-disciplined in what you take in and enjoy, to be fair, because I've subscribed now to, I think, 164 people, and that's absolutely ridiculous. And obviously I don't have notifications switched on for all of them, but that's crazy. That really is crazy, to try and keep up with that and do your own stuff as well. You could always use some tips. Yeah, if you're gonna, I can't remember what content, if any, you've got, Fidelity, but you ask questions away. But you probably pick up some things. I don't know, what software do you use, if any, right now to do editing? And interview BG. What's BG? Megan from that TV. Oh, Megan, she's from Blackpool in the UK. I think I know who you're talking about. She wears a lot of dark eyeliner, if I remember rightly. She's quite a short lady from Blackpool. Yeah, Pattaya TV or something like that, isn't it? I forget now. I think I know who you're talking about. Oh, did she? She used to do videos on the orphanage. I didn't know that. It might be, yeah. Ah, you want some tips on interviews with bar girls? Well, this is... Why was it going... Let's reflect on why this video was going to be called Interview with Bar Girls. I think it was... Well, one thing I reflected on was I remember a couple of times bar girls have said to me, oh, you're confident, and they've almost said it like under their breath. They're speaking their mind. And I don't know, well, that's just life skills that have come, you know, because I've done public speaking, etc. But I think one has to be to a certain degree, because you can get eaten up by a very, you know, go-getter style personality. So if you go into a place from the off with confidence, but, you know, some people can interpret it as being, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Not cocky, but along those lines. Self full of importance, you know, full of them, too full of themselves, something like that. And that's how I think when you are so confident in any situation, it can come across that way. But certainly it's a lot of where people are judging a book by its cover, I guess, as well. Or they feel intimidated, or, you know, it's like two lions fighting over a female, or, you know, when it's rutting season, and it's nature, it's in people's nature to feel as if they've got to be combative or in competition with somebody because that one person is coming across with so much confidence. But so it's a fine line on how that's delivered, I guess. But when you're going to speak to, and certainly some ladies will just not talk to you in the bars because of it as well, because they want to have one-upmanship on the customers and be the confident one, which is interesting. So there's a lot of, and their body language, they're very, not discreet, the opposite of discreet. They are very, and you'll see that in one of my videos, I think it was in Princess Bar, the lady that had so many facial expressions. I did a whole video just on that. It was brilliant. She's a great girl. I forget her name, but it was in, I think it was in Six String Bar or Princess Bar on Soy Bacau. Anyway, I digress. I've forgotten what I was talking about now. Let's have a look at you. Who have we got here? Oh, Mike W. Welcome, welcome. They used to do fundraising school supplies. Oh, did they? I didn't know that. I'll have to see if I can find their videos. Whoops. I'm touching the screen and I nearly block people because I have to scroll up and read these comments. So I'm currently live streaming on Wi-Fi. We've got about a 9 megabits per second upload speed, 37 download. I'm using an iPhone 7 Plus with 128 gig of memory, and we've got the old trusty workhorse here, which is a Apple MacBook Pro 15-inch Retina, blah de blah, dedicated graphics card built in, etc, 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 and fantastic piece of kit. And this is the baby that's produced all but 93 videos, because the 93 we did back in February that were live last year were all done from this phone, which I can feel is burning. It's really heating up through this live stream. Mike W, what is the purpose of my channel? It's in my About Us or About Me section on YouTube, which basically is a way, this channel, it certainly started off this way anyway 2 years ago. December the 12th I think was the first upload ever. I've had the channel for a number of years, but I've only ever produced something for it back in December of 2016, and it was purely the purpose of the channel was purely to document my progress in learning everything about not just YouTube, but my production, editing, directing, everything associated with producing footage to go on YouTube. It was very new to me. I was very surprised, having just uploaded my first video and getting 100 subscribers in 3 weeks and over 10,000 views. So that was amazing, just within 3 weeks. And from there, it's just been trying out new stuff. So there's quite a mix of types of videos on my channel. And a lot of it is dictated by my mood or what I've learned recently. You know, I've purchased a drone in the past. In fact, one of my family members, stroke subscribers, helped fund a lot of that. And I've done some drone footage and all sorts, really. It's what I found is that it's a great way of sharing your creativity, really, which I didn't think I had, and learning the editing software, which is ongoing. Oh my gosh, I had a couple of glasses of red wine too many, and I purchased Final Cut Pro on a 2-week free trial, and then I ended up keeping it. I fell in love with it. It's fantastic, and yeah, the rest is history. So that's a little bit about why my channel was started, and the purpose of it is still to, well, it's turned into, the purpose of it is to, or has found to be, sharing fun, really. So I really do have some fun with the subjects we film with, and we have some great laughs, and there's so much more footage that I've got that I've yet to publish. Oops. Yeah. It's all too easy to assume. It is all too easy to assume to wrong thing or get the wrong impression. It is. It very is much like that. And yeah. You got an iPhone 7 Plus as well? Good. Yes, the 5G phone. Yeah, this. They probably did this with other wireless networks and grades, but I've looked into 5G, and I'm not sure if it's the transmission towers or if it's the phone that's causing problems. Yeah, in terms of health wise. No, Mike, I'm not in Pattaya right now, but shall be before this quarter is up of this year. Yeah, the Final Cut Pro, this software here, is an Apple product, and anyone can try it for free. I think the link's in a lot of my descriptions of my videos for it, so you can go there and check it out if you wanted to. But yeah, it's an Apple product, and you get free updates for life. Now, I nearly went down the route of Adobe products like Adobe Premiere and Adobe this and Adobe that, and you can get quite a package of these complementary, very powerful software editing, video and audio products, culminate into a nice package, and it can turn into about $70 every month. So a very nice piece of kit. But what I didn't like about it, and I know a lot of companies went this way, like Microsoft now, you have to pay every single month for their Office products. I weren't having it. I'm not going to be going down that route of paying somebody a subscription to use their software. So I paid this one-off fee, which was I think about £220, about 300 and so many dollars for this software. It's a one-off, and it's free updates for life until they decide to discontinue supporting it, which I can't see that happening in the near future. And certainly a lot of third-party creators, there are these things down here. You should be able to see down here in a minute. I'll set up the camera a bit better in a moment. Down here we have a little effects menu, and there's a whole menu in there. Within the menu, all different effects you can apply. So things that you might have seen, or I wonder how he did that, I wonder how he did that, and etc. And the sound as well, it's all contained within here. There's lots you can do. And there's a thing called transitions. I use a hell of a lot this area here, transitions. So when you're going from one scene to another, instead of it just flashing over, and so many people do this on creating adverts on TV and in their film making, you know, blockbusters, etc. They don't have transitions, and transitions is how one scene can go into the next scene. So I'll demonstrate some of that for you shortly. But there's loads of different ones, and I use this one here. You can see the transition. Look at that. That's called cross dissolve. So it goes from one scene to the other, and it dissolves into it, and you can change the length of time it takes. And that's important to be able to do that as well, because it does make a difference depending on the scene when it cuts from one scene to the other. And you simply drag that over onto your timeline down the bottom here into where you want to place it, and there's loads of different ones on that. That one's called cross dissolve, and I use that 99% of the time. And then going back to these effects and transitions, a lot of third parties make these, and you can download them for free or buy them, because people are very creative in producing different effects, etc. for this section of the software, and you can download it, unzip it, and install it into the Final Cut Pro. And it's just a program that keeps on getting better over time. But it's packed. It's more than packed with features, and I probably don't even use 40% of what this software can use. And you've seen what I've been able to produce with it without having to know how to use all of the features. Excuse me, I'm talking away and sipping this coffee. So right now, Mike, yes, I am in the UK. You're so right, the editing is the skill and time consuming aspect, because you can really dress up a crappy piece of footage. One of the things you have to be quite disciplined in, and it is hard to start with, because of all the footage you take, and you're quite proud of what you've taken a lot of the time, regardless of the condition, you really do have to cut lots out. It's too easy to put, and I've done it, I'm guilty of it, and there are videos of mine up there, so much footage that you really don't want to cut. You spent your time out in the weather filming it, and you loved it at the time, and it brings back memories, etc., etc., and you want to retain so much, but you must cut away the majority, more often than not, of the footage that you take. And you have to be quite disciplined in that, and keep on reminding yourself, how does that look from the point of view of others, and what does this movie convey? What is it? What's the message of it? Who's your audience? And that's what the difficulty my channel has had over the last, say, 12 months, was which direction it was going to go in, because there are so many you can go in. You know, does it become just a hotel review channel? Does it become a food channel? Does it become a mixture of all things Thailand? Does it come, is it for anything and everything that I film? And then you've got to think about your audience. Where are they based? What is it they're after? Do you even care? Does it matter? Just be yourself. Do you give them what they want? So I've sometimes been steered towards what people have asked for, and I've found that I get a lot of comments on. But the main purpose, as I said, the channel was started to document my progress in learning something different and applying it out there. I really enjoy the editing side of it and the filming side of it. and more recently in the last 12 months have people as part of the team in being in front of the camera and helping out that way. But yeah, very good. Yeah, it's a labour of love, Mike. It's a paid hobby, Mike. It really is. I'm not looking at it as a business, because if I was, then that would be another aspect to apply to it, would be treating it more as a business, and certainly I haven't done that. I've certainly, as you've probably seen from the links in there, that there are things in there that can bring an income, but they're not really pushed. In fact, I never had I had monetization from the beginning, because I was amazed that actually YouTube would pay me via AdSense, which they've done, and it's been very little, I must say. I would say probably no more than $100 a year, in fact, to be truthful. And but I thought, well, you know, it'd be nice, rather than just having an appreciation from people, that the platform that I'm using to put my work out there pays me as well. So I thought, yeah, why not? Because if people are savvy enough, they can turn off the ads and don't have to have ads on the video if they don't like them. So everybody's got an option. So I did apply that to it, and some videos have gone absolutely mental. I don't know why, but I've got two videos in particular. One on ladyboys and how to spot them. Part 1 has got, I think, over 100,000 views, and another one, which was 3 ladies in my room, which was simply three ladies in my room trying to fix my TV for 5 minutes. All I asked was for them to change the batteries in the remote control, and they came in and replaced the whole TV. I don't know why, but that's fun. That's the fun thing about Thailand. It's a story happening every day. It's crazy, and they're funny people, and they're great. And that got, I think there's 213,000 views on that video. Of course, with a bit of clickbait title, because people want to see Thai ladies in your room. But all the time, the majority of people are voting with their thumbs up over those that are thumbing down. Then it's worked. It's a success. And thankfully, I think I've only got 1 or 2 videos out of all the ones that I've left up where there's more thumbs down than up. I don't know what they are, and I don't bother to tend to find out why so much. But yeah, it's interesting. But that's YouTube just picking the odd video up and marketing it. And when you go into the analytics, that would be a good video to show you one day, on how behind the scenes, what we as creators see and understand and can interpret these analytics, because they show you the demographics of the people, whereabouts in the world are they from. And they promoted this particular video, and I achieved over 300 more subscribers in a week as a result of it, from the likes of Bangladesh, India, etc., and a lot from Malaysia, because they were marketing it, that video, as a suggested video to watch in those countries, bizarrely. I've no idea why. I really don't know. I don't think anybody does, to be fair. Yeah. I'm not getting any editing done here, am I? But ask away, no problem. So yeah, it's more of a paid hobby, really. If it turned into, say, let's just say it blew up and AdSense was going well, and the many other income streams associated with it, because clearly I've got a PayPal link on there as well, you know, and all these things were really added after I did the AdSense, like the PayPal link and any other types of income from it, were as a result of people asking to contribute to the channel by way of sending funds, which is fantastic. Thank you very much. And they're showing their appreciation. Maybe they prefer YouTube over cable TV, which they would have to pay for. Certainly that's something I favour more, is to choose what I watch on YouTube from creators such as ourselves. So yeah, but yeah, it could, who knows, it could turn into something whereby And we all know that there are people out there as well, those creators that get 15, 20,000 subscribers in 12 months or less. Good for them, and they are treating it with a business, in pursuit of treating it as a business more so than the hobby that I have. So, but yeah, and then you get a different take and style of content as a result of treating it more as a business rather than a hobby. I think maybe if it's a hobby, you can be more passionate about the skill in which you're trying to convey in your productions, and if you're doing it as a business, then that might be more of the skill of what you have and growing the business that way. I don't know. Interesting. I'm talking as much as Mr. Andrews now. Okay, Mike says, I'm very interested in YouTube, and when it can pay and a decent amount of money. Absolutely. What's the thresholds to start earning cash? Mega amounts of subs, mega amounts of views, and likes. No, Mike, you really don't even need to have a YouTube channel to earn money from YouTube. Here's a top tip. If you are good at, say, looking at the analytics of somebody that gets they've got a great sub following, they have got a couple of good thumbnails for their videos, and you've seen that they perform well, and you can demonstrate then to them, well, all your others are not performing as good, but they could if you had my thumbnail service. So you could create thumbnails for that person, and on the basis that they're more successful, and they could pay you on the basis of that success. So you don't even need to have a YouTube channel. There's a misconception that you have to be producing lots of content and have lots of subscribers. No, you do not, and only make money from AdSense. No, you do not. So if you purely created thumbnails for a channel that would benefit from those services that you provide in that regard, it makes them money, and they're sharing you the income from it as a result of the services you offer them. Because even if you put the inquiry, and there are so many of these people out there, and if you did that, then bang, you can make money off of the YouTube and other people's success by helping them be more successful with the thumbnails that you create for them. For example, I was working on what were they? I noticed the dynamic flyers for a bar named the Triangle Bar could have been a lot more creative. Now the Triangle Bar in Pattaya have now got the best flyers on for their bar, marketing flyers for their bar, than anyone else in the whole of Pattaya, hands down. And that's because two of us worked on them, and they are dynamic, they are animated, they have music with them as well, and they've got a whole set. They've got at least a dozen, maybe 24 creative flyers. So that's a form of thumbnail, right? Yeah, and of course people will pay you to do that. So that's another idea with YouTube. There's loads of ways of making money on YouTube, should you desire to look into them and speak to those people that are doing well with it. Yeah, I have got some drone footage I've not published yet, actually. Pirate Pete, welcome to the stream. I can't even see the thumbs up and thumbs down. I can only see the thumbs up and how many people are watching. Yeah, I'm not worried about thumbs up and thumbs down, really. It's just a bit of an indicator as to whether people like the content or not. Some people, surprisingly, not surprisingly, but hide their thumbs up and thumbs down, because you can do that in the settings. Because you do get people, sheeple maybe, that see so many going up or down and they just follow that. and then halfway through the video they've changed their mind and give you a thumbs up or whatever. But so it's just an indicator, really. and YouTube see the interaction of it up or down, and apparently you use that as a way of, somehow showing to them that it's getting attention, which helps. Oh, in the last 6 months, Mike, how much has my hobby paid me? I would say it's about £30, to be fair, from AdSense, which is, getting paid from the ads that YouTube place on your works. Yeah. Outside of that, it's up and down, really. Some people want to contribute and send you, say, $20 here, £20 here and there. Go and buy yourself a drink. Go and buy Mickey Mouse Mao a bar fine or whatever, Just, I don't know. That's a difficult one, really. But certainly from an AdSense point of view, it is really low. And people say, oh, there's no money in it. Well, I think that's a bit of a flippant and ignorant remark to make. And it's certainly unfounded. And when people are saying that, they're obviously just don't know, or they are trying to influence others maybe in it. I don't in the wrong thing. But yeah, you can certainly make money of it, and of course people are making millions and millions every year from it, just through content creation. And of course, once you get to a certain stage, as I started, just through being a hobbyist, by having other people in front of the camera. I certainly never had any intention of being in front of the camera, although I may have had a couple of fraudulent slips and then started getting into narration on the live streams. But if I started then being in front of the camera, and it takes away the focus of what I'm trying to achieve, and that is to demonstrate my progress in the areas that I hold closer to my heart, which is the editing and the production side of things, and the filming. So, but yeah, certainly drone footage. I've got some fantastic drone footage. I was asked to attend Koh Lan Island. When was this? This was September, October of last year. All expenses paid trip to Koh Lan, which was nice. Only a couple of nights, but I've never stayed there overnight before, and I took the drone with me, and it was purely to do some drone footage and a bit of promotion for the parasailing company that's there. And it turns out we didn't really do any promotion work for them. Not that I wanted to do, not that I was there to do any work in any case, but it was purely just to film the parasailing, and obviously it would give that company some exposure as a result of it. And I've yet to publish that footage. I think some of it may have sneaked out on my channel or somebody else's channel by now. I don't know. I have given some of the footage away and put it up on Google Drive and shared it with others to use. But I've got quite some really good, fantastic footage from flying the drone in Koh Lan. And the weather wasn't that clever, to be fair, because it was raining on and off, and we had to be careful flying the drone when the conditions were right for them to do parasailing. They were literally jumping off a cliff, and we caught an accident or two as well on film, whereby the canopy didn't deploy correctly in the wind as he threw himself off the cliff, so he ended up in a load of trees. But thankfully he wasn't harmed, and he was within 10 minutes he was up flying away in the thermals. No, Mike, you don't need to do it on an industrial scale unless you really want to get to the figures that these people that are making tens of thousands of monies from it. As a hobbyist such as myself, then if you wanted to compare, there are people with a lot less videos, aren't there, out there? I've made over 400 videos, and I've published at least 200 or 300, I forget now. There are people out there with a lot less videos that are doing it differently and treating it as a business, and in less than 12 months are making enough to buy themselves laptops, etc. So you really don't have to be looking at doing it on an industrial scale, but in terms of treating it as a business, absolutely you can make money in a shorter period of time, and progress with the right tools to support you in using YouTube and working with YouTube as a business. Then absolutely you can do it. It's just you've got to learn obviously a lot about how one goes about doing that and pursuing it, because it's not just about producing content. There's plenty of videos you can do a search for it on YouTube, how to make money using YouTube, and it will come up with all sorts of subjects. As I said, you don't even have to have a YouTube channel to make money from YouTube. Would I say even if someone is an expert on YouTube, it's still an enigma? Not many have cracked. I'm not sure what you mean by an enigma that not many people have cracked. Colane drone footage, looking forward to seeing this. Yeah, Pirate Pete, it's good. It was a good couple of days. It was a shame about the weather. Again, it's another. I used to work. I lived and worked on Koh Samui when I first was exposed to Thailand, and I love island life. I've been to Jamaica and visited there, and loads of different islands in Australasia as well. And I love the island life. I think it's a lot more laid back and it's not so hectic. In fact, when I'm in Pattaya, if I was in Thailand for, say, a 2 or 3 month trip, I wouldn't be staying in Pattaya for no more than a week. No, I would visit it, but I wouldn't be staying in Pattaya. Oh, my coffee's getting cold. Oh, sure, fidelity question. Absolutely, you can do that. Anything. You could just say, because, oh, my finger's the wrong colour, or my nail on my finger there is a little bit long, so that can give somebody a reason. Or that font is not the right colour that you usually lose, so I'm going to hate upon you. All sorts. But you're quite right. If people look for reasons as to why. The beast can only continue to live all the time you feed the beast, so don't feed them anything. Right, should we get down to a little bit of editing? Oh, Mike has got a lot to say. When I say YouTube, oh yeah, when it is enigma. When I say YouTube as an enigma, not many have cracked / fully understood. I'm saying that YouTube is mysterious in its workings and doesn't fully convey to its end users the inner workings. No, because, and I respect them for not doing that, in terms of, it's like giving the secrets away on how they interpret content and promote it, right? Because people would use that to their own ill-getting gain, probably to their advantage rather than to YouTube's advantage. And it's YouTube's business, of course, and the inner workings of it are such that, again, they don't want to have somebody with a good financial backing to compete with them, because they want to be number one. I use other places to put videos as well, and they don't come anywhere close, of course, to YouTube. Others have tried as well and have fallen by the wayside. But yeah, you don't give all your secrets away. And yeah, it was, and it changes as well. Of course, people do make videos about, what was it, the algorithms of the current YouTube algorithms and how to use them to your advantage. And then it changes after a couple of months, and you're like, oh, I've just learned how to do that, and I've changed all this in my settings, and I'm only putting so many keywords, etc. And I've put them here and I've put them there, and it can change, and it has to change as well, because YouTube want to keep it and enhancing it. You know, we've only had in the last couple of days changes that you guys have not seen behind the scenes within YouTube, whereby you can now share comments and other people's videos. That's one thing, and the other, in a different way. And the other change, what I've noticed that came about more so today, is when I go down to my notifications of where people have put comments, etc. on my videos, I no longer have to go to that video to give a reply to the comments, because I can do it in a pop-up that comes having clicked on the bell on the top right, which is good. I think that's great, because that was so frustrating when you wanted to reply to somebody quickly, but to do so it took you away from the video that you was currently on. So now you can do it with the video that you're currently on, staying there, which is good. So that's a bonus. There's so much going on. They've got loads of plans. You've got the Insider Creators channel as well, so you can see and communicate with them and vote on different enhancements as well. So they're quite proactive in interacting with creators at all levels, in making it a better environment for everybody. So fair play to them, you know. Where are we? You're more than welcome, Mike. You're more than welcome. You know, if I'm not live streaming asking questions, by all means go on to, what do I respond to most? Any comments that you've got on YouTube, I tend to answer 99% of comments on YouTube. If you didn't want to put any questions on there, by all means go to my Facebook page, would be good. Yeah. I wasn't doing much. I don't know if any of you noticed, but I did have a few people sign up to my web page, but that's not currently live at the moment because I haven't been doing anything or dedicating any time to it. And I've moved. I had a map on the web page which was all of the places I've ever filmed in, so you could go straight to the video for that location and see it wherever it was in the world. So there are a lot of places on there, like Canada and of course Southeast Asia, mainly Thailand. And recently I've enhanced that yet further by producing a new map, really from a few people that have asked me about accommodation and where they could stay, and there's still this fear of being charged if they bring a friend back to the hotel. So I thought, right, let's list all of the hotels that I've ever stayed at before I acquired an apartment that I stay out now. So what hotels have I stayed at? Put them on this guest-friendly hotel list, I guess, map, which is great. So that's taken some time. I've been working on that a lot in the last couple of weeks and populating that. There's still more areas like North Pattaya and Third Road to go on the map, but I might get someone else to do that and populate that. So I don't have to, because it is free to share. It's not a downloadable map, but on there, of course, there's the links. It's another way of making monies from YouTube, YouTube being a funnel of marketing, and that's to direct people to a piece of useful information that they can benefit from, i.e. the map. Go to the map, look at the locations very easily, click on the locations, see the places of accommodation in the area. I'll give a demo of it another day, and then obviously it shows you a picture of the hotel, and you can click on the hotel, and it takes you then to my affiliate link with Agoda, because I've been an affiliate for over 12 months now with Agoda, and you also get insider deals as a result of going through somebody else's affiliate link. And what I like about what Agoda offer is they won't be beaten on price for that particular hotel for that period that you want to stay. So you can guarantee you can't be beaten on price. And as a result of using the links within the map, you know, I get maybe a $2 kickback from any booking, depending on, because I share the commission with Agoda. So Agoda get usually between 4 and 35% commission from the hotel, and a percentage of that is taken away for something else, admin, and then whatever's left is then shared through the affiliate that produced, help bring the business. So that's how that works, and so that's a little bit of income from there as well. But yeah, it's a map and a database that carries on growing. So that's another way. As I say, there's so many different ways. I'm just exploring different things, and because it's something new to learn, I thought, right, let's try that. How does that work? And then having a little bit of a creative mind, I'm thinking, what's another way, instead of just having a link in your description? Is there another way of directing traffic to it, or helping people understand what, where, and how, and what places they could stay that are appropriate for their needs, if you like. And yeah, so I've been dabbling with that. Thanks, Pirate. But yeah, it's going to have, it will have in the next, I would say, week, within the next 7 days or so, it will have, as I say, 2 or 3 more other areas added to it. I've also got somebody based in Hua Hin, looking at providing me with places for that area as well. That would be great. It'd be very limited, and I've not put the feelers out in a big way for places, but anybody can contribute to it. I just need reassurance that it meets the criteria of that they're guest friendly and it's joiner fee free. So because that's pretty much the title of it. Yeah, YouTube Creators Academy Fidelity is definitely a good channel, and I've gone through so many of their videos as well, and the academy that you can go through online as well, and they give you little tests, and they teach you first and give you a little test. It's like a quiz all the way through it. That is really good. It is actually really good. Yeah, and that's a it's good. What would be fantastic is if your comments that come up on the screen were turned into audio. That would be really good enhancement, and I think that will come whereby you could switch it on or off. I think it would be quite a very well. The technology and software and know-how is already out there, but it's not been applied to YouTube. But that would be great. It would be mental actually if it was on a live stream where hundreds and hundreds of people on it speaking. But you could maybe select the certain few commentators maybe on the live stream to have some audio activation to their text. That would be good, particularly for a lot of these YouTubers that do live streams have a lot of comments come through and they can't keep up with them, and it's just ridiculous. At some point you will never be able to keep up with them because they come through. You may have all seen these big YouTubers that do live streams. Just no way. They just pick out those that maybe do super chat and highlight. Well, some people don't even read the comments out from the super chat donations, so it is difficult. Anyway, where was I? So what I'm doing with this video right now, which is very time consuming, this part, is Yeah, Fidelity, it's on the cards actually. I will be visiting. I will be visiting them. Um, Simon and I have been talking over 2 years now, before some time before we actually left the UK, and on and offline. So yeah, we've certainly got to hook up. So what I'm doing with this video right now is, now the video in total, the actual footage, is less than 5 minutes. Now a good way of testing, let's just say you were doing lots of editing, like this isn't much editing at all. I'm just putting text to footage and cutting out inappropriate footage, which is there's very little of. And what I'm doing with this footage is turning it into a bit of a tutorial. And as I said in the beginning, it could have been 2 titles: how to film bar girls, or how to interview bar girls. And it's not an interview, to be fair. It's more of a Q&A with her. I'm just quizzing her on the typical questions that they tend to ask us. So I throw lots of questions back to them, and we have so much fun. You can see Mickey Mau Mau smiling here. It's like that 24/7 with him, unless he's too tired. But it's infectious, and they all love him, and and he's getting recognised as, obviously, every time he's there, and he's there now. Actually, he is in Jomtien right now as we speak. He's doing a 2-month stint out there right now, and he's getting recognised and stopped in the street. And he's always been the guy that likes a bit of attention. Though he's a ladies' man, you know that. It is funny though. We have a laugh. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's Fidelity. Yeah, he's in that. That was in a new bar we were in, and I gave that footage up because I found that my channel, I don't know, there's more footage I have to give away, because it's a bit more risque, and I didn't want my channel to go down the smut level too much. More carry on film style innuendo's fine with my channel, but I didn't want it to go down the route of being a bit more, mine's tongue-in-cheek style, not so much of the smut. So that's someone else. We have got a lot of the smutty footage as well. Well, no, not a lot. I need probably less than 5%. So I'll give that away, and that can be used on other channels. And yeah, that's Fubar on Soy Bacau, and that was back in October, I think. And that was great. Yeah, she was great, and he really wanted to go back to her, and we actually never went back there. And I said to the guy, the owner, just over on chat, I said to him, I'll create you an animated Facebook cover photo, because the one he has right now is just black and white, and it just says Fubar. And I'm into exploiting, obviously, what these software packages and social media can do for us in a better way. And so many people could enhance the look of their business by having it differently over their competition. So I said to him, I'll produce you, and I've yet to do it, a Facebook cover page, a photo, which will be a short video of the ladies and lady boys, I think there are as well, in his bar, producing that. But yeah, that the wanker video. Yeah. Oh, what wanker video? There's 2. We did. So there was footage I gave away, which was Fubar, which we just spoke about, and there was another one recently, wasn't it? Yeah, that was in this bar, Scrapyard Bar in the Darkside, over in East Pattaya. Yeah, we did one here. I'm always doing that with the girls and with Mickey Mau Mau. we what's your name? Where'd you come from? And all that. You know, the usual questions. So I just make them up now, and I make my name up at every other bar, and we try and stick to it. Well, I try to. Mickey Mau Mau, he forgets, and I just come out with a name like Bend Over, or you know, Eartha Kitt, for those that know Cockney rhyming slang, and stuff like that. And then we forget and we call each other by our name, like, or he refers to me as Tastic or whatever, and you know, it's we have fun with that. Well, I do. It's schoolyard schoolboy humour. That's all it is. And education, of course, at the same time, because they're learning something all the time as well. So it's good fun. Not have money for sins, or dear. That's a classic quote. That. Oh yeah, I must do more of that as well. One of the first things to, yeah, within the first couple of minutes of, you know, introducing ourselves and building a rapport with the girls in the bars, and absolutely, that's one of the first things that come out. Tell them up front where you stand. I not have money for sin, son. Yeah. Yeah, it was the Scrapyard Bar, the one then. That video recently you saw then, Fidelity, yeah, that was this bar here. The reactions are brilliant, aren't they? They're so expressionate, the ladies, in their tonality of voice, their body language. They're not very good, not that they're trying to hide it, but is it expressionate? Like I said, that lady from Princess Bar, or Six String Bar, you know, they would be no good at playing poker. No good at all at playing poker. They have too many tells. Alright, where are we? So what I'm doing with this video right now is I am, because unless your ear is tuned in to how the accent of a Thai lady speaking, you can miss a lot of things on what they're saying. And now this lady speaks quite good English, actually. Her pronunciation is very good, and she refers to people we're referring to in a different manner, the correct manner as well. She talks about her parents, very little in it, but she uses that term instead of mum and dad. She calls them parents, and yeah, she spoke very good English, so it was a good interaction up front, and she was jolly. So what I'm doing though is going through here, and I'm looking for when she's speaking, and I'm putting my own. Here we go. Like, she didn't want us to film. She didn't want me to film her here. I'd already given the camera to her, and that is something I don't often do, to be fair. Especially if it's my iPhone 7, which it tends to be, if I'm live streaming in particular. It's not on a gimbal, but it's on a little tripod, handheld tripod, and the phone pops out of it. I really need to change the top that holds the phone, because it's not staying in it anymore. It's worn so much, so I tend not to give them. It's because the phone's already been dropped on a tiled floor and it's broken. The screen's broken. But here we've got her saying, "Not take me." I think that's what she's saying. Hold on. Let's turn it up a bit so you can hear it better. She's got the camera there. And I took the camera back off of her and I started filming her. No, not take me. She doesn't want me to take a photo. I ignore that straight away, especially when she follows it up with a laugh and she's smiling. So she's done that. What are your thoughts? Why do you think she said don't film me? Why not take me? Why do you think she doesn't want to be filmed? She doesn't like her photo being taken, which You know, that'd be a lot of BS, wouldn't it, in Thailand, because they love their photo being taken while doing selfies. Maybe she doesn't. Maybe she's more mature and she's not into that. Why do you think, though, she doesn't want her photo taken? Because there was no problem in the end videoing her at all, as we see, because we were there for a good half an hour or so, filming most of the time. And of course we would respect anyone that doesn't want to be filmed. So I've created a diversion here, as I've documented here, by saying, you know, I start immediately asking her questions. So I changed the subject. She was happy to. And I carried on. If she was persistent, obviously, in not wanting to be filmed, or pull me to one side and say, you know, don't use this footage, or, you know, I don't mind you taking photos of the bar and the rest of the people, but I don't want to be on the camera. You know, we have that sometimes, and that's not a problem at all. It's like in Pitbull. In fact, Pitbull bar on Soy Bacau was supposed to have been, the footage of that should have been up and running by now, and I did promise one of you guys that will be the next 10-minute attempt video, and the lady in there didn't want to be filmed, although we filmed her a lot. She said, you know, not to use it. No problem, I won't use it. And I don't know what happened to it. I think I deleted the whole lot by mistake. I've had to make loads of room recently on my hard drive. It's gone actually crazy after doing these 2-hour stints at the weekends, live streaming, you know, Premiere chats. That's consumed, like, each one takes up about 150 gigs in processing. It's absolutely crazy. Oh yeah, maybe she's got because she's got no makeup on, or very little makeup. Maybe that could be the reason. Yeah, that's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Yeah, that's probably what it is, actually. Let's get a bit closer. There we are. That might be a little bit better. Yeah, so down here I'm going through and just putting in the things she's saying. It can take time, but so what I tend to do is just cut and paste, so I don't have to format the size of the text, the angles, the colour, because, you know, this text here as well, I just don't go for the standard Helvetica or Verdana. I would choose something that might be, I would call it apt text. It's very apt for the moment. So if it's like a jolly, she's happy, I would use a font. And if you can see here, look at these. I've got dozens and dozens and dozens of fonts. And I've downloaded extra ones as well. And I will pick one, for example, thinking about the mood and what's being said, etc. I would pick one. That'd be very rounded. Now I've just changed it by mistake. I can change that back. There we go. So I'm using that. And we have to, obviously, other things to think about. The colour is important, and the boldness of it, thickness, etc. Because of the background colours. Oh, see, I was going to have green, but this is a lot of lilac-y, pale blue in the background, and it didn't work. It would have been difficult to read, so one has to consider that as well, which can change as well, because as we spin round, it might be, you know, I started off, I've used that pink a lot, and what I do is, with that, I will have, so if we go down to here, something that's good at with highlighting your text further is if you go to 3D, so you would have, so it's not 3D, select 3D text, and then once you have that, you go down, choose the colour here, but have glow as well. So glow will enhance it yet further. And the glow, I've chosen the colour of yellow, and you can change the radius and intensity of it. There you go, you can see it changing, and that just brings it a bit more forward into being able to read it better depending on the background colours. So that's a little thing I do with the text, which I think is very important, because my earlier videos I paid no attention really to it at all until I learned about the font styles and how maybe to use it better. Just through, I think I learned a lot about that just by seeing other people's thumbnails to start with. Thumbnails is quite important, of course. So that's what I was doing with that. I have no money for Sinsot. So yeah, beauty's in the eye of the beholder. That's her twin sister there, without makeup as well. Maybe she's yeah. Why is that, Fidelity? Have you got bad eyesight? Or just want to understand what they're saying? Or right, so
My family from Tastic.
Okay. Have fun.
Oh, have fun, big
Have
fun.
many fun. How many rye you had?
About
20.
50,
50. Ooh.
but have three.
right, so she's talking about how big her farm is. She's got 50 rye. In fact, I must put up how many hectares and acreage, how much acreage that is, because a lot of people ask me that and I always forget. And now she's talking about, I thought she said she's got trees, but why would she go like that if she's talking about she's got trees on her land? So I'm thinking she's got trees on her land, but it's not. She starts now talking about her siblings, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. One daughters and two.
She's got one daughter and two sons, but before she was telling us that she's just got one daughter, but I think she's talking about her brothers and sisters. But that's the usual confusion one has when you're interacting with Thai ladies, of course.
Two sons.
Oh, how old are you?
No, I mean my parents.
Oh, so how many children you have?
One.
What age?
14.
Boy, girl?
Go.
She's got on her face, oh my God, all these questions coming at me.
Mama, Papa, take care.
She's like, you know too much already. This is the same old story. I think she comes over to slap me. I can't remember now.
What's the name of this bar? Scrapyard Bar. Try?
The scrapyard bar.
Okay, how much short time?
I don't know.
How much bar fine?
I don't know.
Yeah, she's got 50 rye. It's quite big. That's what she says. It's a big farm.
How much tequila shot?
120.
Where you want to go tonight?
And two sons.
Oh, how old are you?
No, I mean my parents.
Oh, so how many children you have?
One.
What age? You?
No, I mean
See, I typed that wrong, didn't I? Being a bit of a perfectionist, I'll have to have it exactly what she says.
no, I mean my
Doing this for you, Fidelity.
My parent.
So we've got the laugh in there again, so we need to get that laugh. Where is it? There it is. We copy it from over there. I'm not typing that every time.
My parent.
How many children you have?
One. My parent.
How many children you have?
One.
What age?
14.
I've got to think about music or something else to make this maybe a bit more funny. I don't know. Or entertaining. Maybe we just leave it as it is. It's 4 minutes 51 seconds so far. You know I'm going to get a bit... I want to make it funnier. I'll show you now this bit here I've got here. Let's have a look.
Tell me in a minute.
Not that bit.
You won't get more dangerous than this.
Oh, yes. Cameo. 14.
Boy, girl.
Girl.